About my life, which no one else can. Filters on my face disguise my age. Show money that I don't have, there's words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook live dream. If they post a pic of me, deep clean, but it's pizza and burgers for dinner, you know what I mean. A snapshot of vacations that I got no money to take. Send you one of my sports cars, you know that it's a fake. Got my walls loaded up with things that aren't even true. Pretending on Facebook is my thing too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
2,000 friends, which I've never done met. A pic of my lunch is what you're gonna get. I had a post of your baby, say it's one darn cute kid. But I lied, cause it's ugly, that's called an online fib. I talk about success in my job and the pending promotion. But in reality it's a psych, cause I got a demotion.
Only the fake Facebook man posting lies about my life, which no one else can. Filters on my face disguise my age. Show money that I don't have, there's words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook live dream.
You block me on Facebook without a judge, jury, or trial. I'll be creeping you the next day with a shiny new profile. See a pic of my family? Yeah, we're having a good time. Well, the joke's on you. We have not talked in 8 months or 9. I'll tell you about the weather and the stuff you don't need to know. I'll fake a good illness so the sympathy will grow. I'll ask you to donate to my made-up cause and post selfies on the daily, that ain't breaking no laws. So don't judge the life of the fake Facebook man, pretending to be happy like no one else can.
Guess who's on KINZ and KLOMP Live tonight at 8? Special guest appearance from Terry Lemaire. So I thought I'd get myself into tip-top shape with a few arm curls this morning. Coffee cup goes up and coffee cup goes down.
Kinsman, that's not how you do a workout. You gotta listen to me. I'm tough like Goodtime. I'll show you how it's done. You start with your push-ups. Now you give yourself a nice arch that protects your back. I look like I'm doing what? Ugh. You're disgusting. Then you get your lazy butt on the treadmill. Get sweating. But before that, you've got to read the instructions on how to turn this thing on. I'm going Rocky IV training style as I move this washing machine. Hand coordination. And if you don't have balance and coordination, you have nothing. Whoa. And it's not all about the body. It's about educating the mind. I have watched 3 UFC pay-per-views on this bad boy just in the last 6 months. And I know Goodtime's on the show tonight, but you know what? With all my training, I'm gonna tell him to his face that I'm the toughest guy in Timmins. What? Goodtime's on the phone? Tell him I'm not here. Tell him I'm not here. Sorry, Goodtime. Sorry.
Hey, how you doing, Jamie Klomp?
I'm good. Now, do you think after that, once Goodtime's on here, he's going to kick my butt or what?
He's probably going to kick. It doesn't need too much to kick our butt. No.
Would you protect me if Goodtime put me in one of his chokeholds?
I'm going to say he can probably put us both in a chokehold at the same time at trying to join him in the octagon, which we're going to have him join us in our, we're going to call it the rectangle here, right? In our banner mode for KINZ and KLOMP Live. Big special edition. We've got Terry Goodtime Lemaire joining us on the show. And tonight's episode brought to you by Richard Wilson at Wilson's Elite Auto Detailing on Wilson Avenue in Timmins.
Kinsman, I stepped it up tonight for Wilson's Elite. First of all, this, right? You know what I'm wearing? Can I show you something? Can I show you something, Kinsman? I'm going to adjust the camera here. Check this out. Can you see it?
Look at you.
I'm even doing a good time flex there. You like that? The Wilson's Elite T-shirt. I come
That's a nice T-shirt. Yeah, you're a regular through Wilson's Elite.
Listen, I'm a slob in my car, Kinsman, so I got to go to Wilson's Elite all the time. Like slobs like me, milkshake spilt over there, popcorn, pop. Richard Wilson's the only guy to clean me up.
That's right. And if you're looking to get yourself cleaned or your vehicle cleaned, if you've got two Great Danes like Jamie has, 36 Wilson Avenue. And again, you can visit them on Facebook, Nano Ceramic Protect Timmins on their Facebook page. And you can't get a better location, right? Richard Wilson is on Wilson Avenue in Timmins. How did he do that? He owns the street.
That's right. And his building. Have you seen the outside of his building? How amazing that looks?
It's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe we'll have like a KINZ and KLOMP caricature outside of his building next week. That'd be
or maybe our logo, right?
Yes.
We can get the KINZ and KLOMP live logo on the side of his building.
Okay.
Wishful thinking.
Listen, Kinsman, we always talk about me and you. Okay, we have two amazing guests waiting for us. Terry Goodtime, Lemaire and Matthew Poulin. I don't know if it's Matthew or Matt. The first thing we're going to have to ask how formal it is, but I want to bring them on right now.
Yeah, they're waiting in the lobby right this second.
All right, Kinsman. Here we go.
There we go. Right. Terry, there's Matt. Hey. How you gentlemen doing?
Good, you?
Good. Welcome to KINZ and KLOMP Live. Of course, for those tuning in, wondering who one of the best fighters is on the planet right now, well, you're looking at him in the bottom right of your screen. Terry Goodtime Lemaire holds a record now of five wins, 2 losses.
Yeah, that's right.
Which side are you pointing to?
Yeah,
we're all backwards on the screen.
I just look like the greatest fighter. That's all.
But yeah, Terry Goodtime Lemaire joining us with a record of 5-2. Is it 5 straight wins, Terry, after your latest win in Kentucky?
That's that's right. That's 5 straight wins in MMA and 2 in Muay Thai. So I'm actually on a 7-fight win streak. Yeah,
keeping the eyes on you in that octagon. Take us through that fight. A couple of weeks ago back in Kentucky, Shepherdsville, Kentucky. I'm just going to paint the picture for our viewers. If you missed the pay-per-view, shame on you. Next week, you should get a Terry Lemaire pay-per-view on your next fight. But
that's all right. I'll just send them my email so I can get my commission.
That's right. Well, that's how you fighters make your money, right?
That's right, man.
You make a percentage of the fight. But going back to that fight, the Kentucky, every commentator, the guy's fighting in his own backyard. And then a kid, a 31-year-old kid from Timmins, Ontario, Canada, coming into, possibly beat. I'm laughing at the guy's name, the Vanilla Gorilla. And
I love it, man. I love that name. I got there and I was like, man, I think I need a tan. I'm going to Kentucky. I'm from Timmins, Ontario. It's -30 here. I'm going to be the Vanilla Gorilla, right? Like, I'm patient.
I love it. I want to know a little bit of the backstory of Terry. I want to talk about, like, what were you like maybe out of high school? Like, here's what I'm picturing, and I watch a lot of Cobra Kai. Okay, so I'm picturing maybe young Terry was bullied, and then you met Matt, and you're taking care of the Matts at Matt's and have sort of you win all Valley. Do we have a dramatic story here, or were you always a fighter, an MMA guy?
No, I was actually not a fighter at all, man. High school, I was pretty quiet. I was a long, shaggy hair skateboarder, and I played hockey, of course. Like, we're in Ontario, right? So I played hockey my whole life, and I skateboarded, snowboarded, and then I met Matt when I was about 17, 18, and I started kickboxing. My first sparring session, I actually broke my nose.
Oh, no.
Hell yeah, it was like right under my eye socket. And the guy who was sparring just looked at me with a ghost face. And I'm like, let's keep going. What's wrong? Matt's like, come here.
And then from that moment, you were
his hands on my nose and just puts it back into place. And yeah, that's the backstory. And I never stopped. I've been there for 13 years now.
So Matt, how long have you been training Terry?
Training, I think this is going on 13 years. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a long time.
Is it difficult, because obviously you guys are close, been friends for a long time? Is it difficult to train your friend? Is there like boundaries that you have to set, or does it make life easier?
Doesn't matter.
No?
I corner my wife and my kids when they compete. So if I could do that, Terry's easy.
No doubt, right?
My wife and both my sons, they compete too. So it's like I said, that's my twin brother. He does also. So if I can do it with family, everyone else is just so much easier.
Yeah, that's right. So it really is a true brotherhood. And we know some brothers do fight, but I assume, especially when you're getting ready for a fight, both you have to be on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're both pretty compatible, I find, when it comes to fights, man. Like, we're very low key. He knows what I have to do. I know what he has to do, and we just let each other do it. And then we get into the ring, and we just mesh. It just flows, man.
Now, is it like putting together choreography? You know, in I guess a fighting terminology when you get into the octagon. Like, how do you plan out your attack on, let's say, the Vanilla Gorilla? Do you study this guy, or do you just go in there? You know, I'm just going to throw the guillotine on him and see what happens. And obviously, it happened with the submission for you in Kentucky. Do you plan that ahead of time, or is it just whatever comes to your mind?
I'll let Matt take that one.
Okay. So what happens in a normal fight camp? It can be anywhere between like 10 and 8 weeks, even 6 if you were kind of really already on board. But for pro, I like 8 weeks. So what we do is we get a name about 8 weeks out. We start going to all the video we can of the opponent on Instagram, YouTube, whatever, the previous fight. And normally we watch the last 3 fights. And we base the whole plan of attack like a kind of a SWOT analysis. So what Terry's good at compared to what Isaiah's good at. I think that's his name. Sorry. Yeah,
Isaiah. And, I'm thinking Isaiah was probably watching some video footage of you, Terry, heading into that fight, because he tried your own guillotine move on you, which, thankfully failed. Does that make you more mad that he tried to beat you with your own move?
Not at all, man. Like, I was expecting him to take me down because that was his strength. He's a black belt in BJJ. But like I was telling Matt, like we're going to strike with him, but I told him like anywhere it goes, I could take him. But the one thing Matt stressed for this fight was because I would always jump guard for my guillotine. He's like, don't you jump guard on this guy, okay? If he gets on top of you, he's going to hold you there. So, I don't know. He was probably a little upset when he saw me grab that guillotine and jump guard. But
I know if he jumps, there's a good reason. So I only have half a heart attack.
What goes – obviously intensive training goes into prepare for a fight, and some of these fights can end instantaneously. You finished off the guy fairly quickly, but when you're in that chokehold in that moment, does something go through your mind like, I have to do something immediately to change this, or is it just instincts?
It's not immediate. It's just it's the training kicks in, It's not like I panic and then try and get out of it. I just do all the right little techniques to make sure that he can't finish it, because he's a black belt, right? So if I could think before him and get my techniques, like do the proper techniques to stop him from finishing that choke, then that's what I'm doing, right? So that was tight. Like, it was tight. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was right under the neck, and I could feel myself struggling near the end. But I was doing the right things. I was pushing his knee down so he wouldn't be able to lock up his guard on me, and I just kept butt scooting or torquing, if you will. And I popped my head out and got my own.
And then you reverse it on him and then put him into submission. It must feel great beating their hometown guy, their hero. Yeah. He was walking into the fight at 8-2. You put another dent into his loss record. Like the comments were saying, this guy's going to win. Like, I don't think they ever thought that you would come in under the radar and beat, the Vanilla Gorilla, but you did in submission fashion. It's got to be a great feeling.
Oh, it was amazing. But you know what? Coming from Timmins, Ontario, guys, we're always in their backyard. Every fight I ever have, like, I'm in Montreal, I'm in Quebec City, I'm always in their backyard, and that's what I do. I just beat their heroes.
29 out of 30 fights, right? 29 of your 30 fights have been away from Timmins, so he's only been the hometown guy once in 30.
Yeah.
you must thrive off that a bit, though. But I'm thinking, after you won, it's dead silence, and to me, that's a compliment because you shocked that must have been something you were proud of, to silent people and say, "Listen, I'm here now."
Yeah, that was it was a big moment for me, man, because like I've always been overlooked, I find, in my career, and I was telling Matt, I was like, I'm going to make a statement here. He's like, I think you're going to KO him. I'm like, you know what? I think so too. And it happened to be a submission, but either way, man, like everybody was watching that one, man. There was a lot of big eyes. There was UFC matchmakers and a lot of other people watching this fight. So it looks good for us, man. And it puts Timmins on the map, which is another plus.
Certainly does. Even your fight previous, people saying that UFC was on the radar. Now, after this fight, UFC, the Dana Whites, do you know any of the big wigs or anybody notify you stating that we're going to try to get you to the UFC octagon? Obviously, now that we're, loosening restrictions here in the province of Ontario, as things loosen with COVID, do you see yourself fighting in the UFC for that main bout?
I do see it coming very soon, man. But like I was telling Matt, like whatever comes next, I'd love to have a title around my waist too before I make it to the UFC, man. Like that's been a big thing for me. I had it in amateur. I won a national Muay Thai title also, and I'd like to get that pro title before I make the jump. But if the call comes first, I'm not going to say no, right?
No, that's it. You're going to jump on the plane, or in this case, you guys tried to drive through, with COVID and ended up flying. You almost missed the boat. You made it by a couple hours to the weigh-in?
That's right. Yeah, that was wild, man.
Yeah, well, obviously there's a lot of complications getting across the border, and I'm following your story. Originally, were you guys supposed to drive across the border? Then you had issues. Then you rerouted back to Toronto, and the promoter helped you fly there and get to the event. Is that what happened?
Yeah. So we drove to Sault Ste. Marie. We were in contact with the border too. Matt was in contact with them, emailing, just to make sure that they'll let us cross because it was for work purposes. And they wouldn't give us a straight answer. Like they didn't even know, man. They're like, I don't know what the government's implementing right now. So like, we're gonna deem you essential when you get to the border. We're like, okay, 6-hour drive, let's go.
Yeah.
So we got there and we had our pandemic book and we had a nice binder and everything with all our stops. We had the promoter's signature on it saying we're going for work. We had our pee break stops, our gas stops, everything, man. So it was looking pretty good. The Border Patrol guy was right into UFC, so he's asking a bunch of questions and he's like all pumped up that this was a big fight for us. And we're like, oh, sweet. We got a fan. We got this, man. We're going to America. So then they pull us aside and 2 other guys come out. So we're sitting there for about 20 minutes and they kicked it up, I guess, to the people behind the desk, right? And you know how that usually goes. Didn't go our way. And we ended up getting turned around. So, yeah, we were circling Sault Ste. Marie for an hour, kind of just we were lost. We didn't know what we were doing.
Mm-hmm. Do you I would assume like if everything goes well, you want to get to the event early, get a good night's rest. And obviously if you're scrambling at the last minute, were you worried this was going to throw you off, or you always expect the unexpected?
Well, this was definitely a special case, right? This has never happened before. I didn't think we were going to make it, man. I didn't think we were going to be able to go because we had to get a pre-COVID test before getting onto a flight also in Toronto, right? Mm-hmm. Which is 7 hours from Sault Ste. Marie. Oh. Yeah. So everything's closed at this time. It was about 5 o'clock when we got turned around at the border. We're talking to the promoter. He was trying to get COVID tests for us in Toronto for the next day in the morning. So we had to drive to Sudbury while I was eating popcorn because I was stress eating. I was talking to my nutritionist and he could hear me eating the popcorn. He's like, Terry, you still have 2 days. You can make it. Put it down. So, yeah, I put the popcorn down. And then we slept in Sudbury. We drove to Toronto in the morning. What was that, Matt?
Rested in Sudbury.
Yeah.
No real
woke up at 6 a.m. And then we had a COVID test on Yonge Street in Toronto at 11, which we made it about 15 minutes before. And then we booked flights, man. And I had to cut weight an extra a day early because we wouldn't have had time to cut the weight in Kentucky.
Holy smokes, eh?
Yeah. So I was in my hotel in Toronto on Thursday. Weigh-ins were Friday night. And I had to cut, 12, 14 pounds.
Oh my God.
So what are you doing in the sauna on a bike? How did you get down to weight like the proper weight before that weigh-in?
I just let Matt put the reins around me, and I just pull him through the parking lot. No, we had a portable sauna because all saunas are closed right now, right?
Okay.
So I got this little sauna where my head pops out, my arms could pop out, and we put the sauna suit on, and that's how I lost it all.
Now, what happens if you do weigh in and you're just a smidge over the weight? Would you have not made the fight? Is that how strict they are with the weight class categories?
No, they just take a percentage of your winnings. So they take, I think, 20%, right, Matt?
I think it's 20% in Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never realized that. Yeah.
If you're over X amount, then the fight just canceled.
Yeah.
Oh wow, eh?
Yeah.
But we've never missed weight, and I was telling the promoter, like, just because of the circumstances, I was like, I'm not sure if I'll make that weight. So they're nice enough to give us a catch weight. So we got an extra few pounds out of it.
Nice.
And do they have to go to your opponent's camp and say, listen, here's the situation. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And, sometimes they could be, douchey about it, but they were very awesome. Like, they totally got it. He was cutting weight just like me, right? He was having a rough cut. That's the big thing about like mixed martial arts. Everybody cuts weight, and it's kind of like a moot point now because before, back in the day, they would do it so you'd have a weight advantage, right?
Okay.
But nowadays, everybody's doing it. So it's pointless.
I'm sure you've answered this question a ton of times, but a couple people, where do you get the nickname Goodtime? I'm sure people ask you this all the time. Is this something that's carried with you your whole life? Is the story like PG? Is it beyond PG?
It's pretty PG. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm just, I don't know. I'm very charismatic, and I always like to have a good time, no matter what I'm doing. I put those positive vibes out, and where it did originate from was in my younger days when I was in high school, and me and some friends were getting ready to take a night on the town, bust a few moves, and I left my phone number upstairs for my friend's older sister, with a few beer in me. And the next morning I saw the note, and it said, if you're looking for a good time, call Terry. And it kind of just stuck. She never called.
It's stuck ever since, eh?
I like that. The old message on the toilet, right? And
yeah. Little post-it note.
Yeah. Then you barge in, right? Stick them in
exactly.
They don't want to have a good time with you anymore.
And then the guillotine comes on. No.
Yeah. So what happens now? I know you begin training for your next fight, but when does like the full regiment, the diet, does that kick in immediately, or do you give yourself a couple weeks? I know you're quarantining right now, but do you give yourselves a couple weeks to enjoy life a little bit, or do you right back into the action?
I enjoyed it a little too much, Jamie. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw the post from Urban Farm. They gave you quite the snacks, eh?
Oh, they had quite the spread, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But that's going to be a big thing for me too. Urban Farm reached out to me, and I think we're going to be collaborating for my next fight and everything. So that's awesome. They're supporting me. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this viewer, Kinsman. KLOMP thinks he's tougher than Terry. Why? Come on now. That was just a comedy video.
That's how it starts in the schoolyard, right?
Yeah. But let me ask you a serious question, Terry. Do you think I could take down Kinsman, or is he just a weight up on me?
You know what, man? I think he'd be pretty agile. I think if you just go for his ankles, you can take him down.
Oh, the ankles. Okay. I thought it was my lethal arms. Yeah, I got to go for the ankles.
You didn't like my arm curls this morning, right?
Hey, man, I'm right with you, Kingsman. I do 3 of those a day.
Yeah.
Coffee all day.
Matt, I did want to ask you a question. Obviously, today's a big day for local businesses in the city. Reopening to some degree, thank God. How are things going at over at your end, and what can folks expect in terms of your opening?
So what we're doing, actually, since I'm in quarantine, we didn't open up today, but we're planning. My wife's going to go in and run a couple classes this week, kind of test it out. But for kind of like what we do, the orange zone was very, very, very tricky. Mm-hmm. So we had to run a lot of things by the health unit, but because of the long weekend, everyone was closed. So we needed to get some answers done today. So it looks like we're going to be open tomorrow for 2 classes, and then 4 more classes this week. And then next week we go to a little bit of a higher schedule since I'm there.
Right.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, do you find more people are now trying to become the next Terry Lemaire of Timmins now that they see what Terry's doing and what he's kicking the butt in that octagon? Or are you?
I think for bigger cities that works better, but for us it doesn't seem to attract anybody too much. We just have our regular folks.
Well, we got a few actually. We got some guys actually that came from out of town that moved down here a few months ago. One guy from Temiskaming, another guy from North Bay that wanted to start training full time, and they came down here to train at Total Martial Arts Center because they know that we have such a great gym and camp here, and we have Matthew Poulin too. So that's exciting because it'll be a few more guys on the amateur circuit to train with me and to build up our MMA team, amateur MMA team, which is awesome.
Sounds amazing. Now, for those wanting to get into the sport of MMA, what is mixed martial arts? What are you combining into the octagon for little ones saying, I want to try this?
I'll do it. Yeah. So what we do at TMAC, so mixed martial arts is a combination of different styles. So our styles come from I have a boxing background, so we do a lot of like Red Mastado, old school boxing, Muay Thai. We have that's our striking component. It's our boxing and our Muay Thai. And then for our wrestling, we do Sambo, Russian Sambo, and freestyle wrestling. And then for the ground, we also do Sambo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So those, and then we kind of add some X factors in from other styles I've done over the years, and we kind of mesh them all together. I have a little system that we teach, and we just go from there. We build people from right here and go all the way up.
Right. So whether it's your first time working out in your life, to rather you've been involved in MMA for many years, you probably have classes and training sessions for everyone of all categories.
Everybody. So we have our youngest student is probably like 4 or 5 years old. Our oldest student is like 73. John Zhongyi is. Yeah. So everybody's in there.
Nice.
Maybe we can get you in there, Mark.
We should be able to do a class in there, right? Once restrictions allow, Jamie and I should put our MMA skills to the test, which aren't
let's do that.
Aren't too many skills involved there with us.
Maybe instead of Jamie being the voice of celebrity boxing, he could maybe be in the ring.
No. I'm just more of a talker, but yes. But I know I need a very good workout routine and someone to be a little tough on me and that and challenging, taking on new challenges. So to me, that must be pretty exciting. But like at your end, Matt, obviously you've had to make a lot of changes since last March. Have these been dramatic changes that you've had to the limitations of people that can come in the gym? But is there anything else significant that you've had to overcome besides the closures, of course?
Just the most part is the thing I worry about the most is some of our people in the community going through a rough time during the lockdown. That's almost sometimes even worse than what's going on in the city itself, because we didn't really get hit that hard, right? Well, we did in CAP, so that's sad. But in town here, we have a lot of people that need outlets, the little things for their mental health. The thing that's missing the most during the lockdown is people seeing people, that connection, the human connection with people. Yeah, stress outlet, things like that.
Yeah, no, and even just being in your house for significant periods of time, and you're right, without having your stress relief factors, whether it's working out or actually seeing someone and having a conversation, rather just online, we're close to a year now. And
over the last 11 months, I think we were open for 3.5. Other than that, we were shut down. And then when we were open, it was very limited. So during the last shutdown, we went from 100% capacity to 50. And now I think when we open up this week, it's like 40, 30, not even. So it's tough, but we're trying to get as many people in there as possible. Like I said, the gym is a lot of things to a lot of people, right? So even if we could be open for a little bit, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully this is the beginning of a positive trend. Because it's difficult for small businesses without revenue coming in, how long you can survive.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason we stayed open was the members, because we didn't really get any of those grants yet, so we're still waiting on those. So the only reason we're open is because of our members. Yeah.
Melanie says, going to TMAC has been amazing for my mental health, and was sad when they had to close. So exactly what you're saying, Matt, people need that outlet, and you get to see people and enjoy yourself and work out, and you lose that for a significant amount of time. Yeah, it does play a toll on folks.
It certainly does.
Yeah, that's right. So we had another comment from Pascal, says, buy a Goodtime toque. So where can we pick up some Goodtime merch? And
Goodtime merch.
Yeah.
I got what you guys want, man. Let me know your sizes and I'll hook you guys up. I got t-shirts, I got sweaters, whatever you guys want.
There you go. In quarantine, you'll be doing shirt cannons outside of a window until you're.
Hey, man, I got to make my money somehow, right?
That's it. Hey, got to survive, right? So this is the cards that were dealt. Jay Gilbert says, "Where is the Goodtime merch, Terry?" And you have your websites and Facebook pages. Just message you.
Yeah, just message me on Facebook, and I'll hook you guys up.
What's your Facebook and Instagram again, Terry?
Terry Goodtime Lemaire, man. There it is.
Yeah, and who would I'd be like Jamie Crusher KLOMP, I think, maybe. Who would you be?
What would I be?
Well, nicknames is a weird one. You can't really you earn those things. You don't.
I can't just give it to myself.
It's funny. It's considered super bad luck. So
how about Jamie Butter Biscuits Klump?
There we go.
Well earned.
And nicknames are things you don't like, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
KINZ ankle burner Kinsman. KINZ worked when I played defense in hockey. I don't know if KINZ would work in an octagon.
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
And then for you, Matt, all the updates on TMAC. Of course, you have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we have Facebook.com Timmins MMA, and that's pretty much where we're doing everything, because our email pretty much just got shut down from being flooded so much. So we're trying to reach more people at once with like group posts and everything, just so we can communicate better than we are right now.
That's good. So before you guys leave, I want to show you this. We always give away something on the show. And tonight we're giving away a $20 gift card to the McIntyre Coffee Shop. And people have to answer this question. How long would you last in a Goodtime chokehold? So, okay.
I'm going to say 0.2 seconds.
So we're going to find out who thinks they're tough or not, but we're going to pick the most clever answer. We have our guy Mitch
in the show.
Background.
Okay.
And so
let's ask Gorilla.
Yeah,
vanilla gorilla.
Yeah, he didn't last long.
No, he didn't last too long at all.
He's a professional. Okay, so
BJJ black belt.
Yeah, very tough. Well, congratulations to you, Terry, and to you, Matt, on the reopening and all success. We're following you right through, Terry. Local guy, doing good. You always have our support. Mark and I are going to get there. We'll reach out to you and we'll get some merch. We'll wear it on the show. And
yes.
Awesome.
We'll work on our push-ups at the same time. Maybe
maybe
we'll get a few personal training sessions in there for you guys.
Yeah.
You know what? It would be awesome to get into the octagon with you guys, or at least onto the crash mats to see what we can do.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll just do the announcing, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I know you guys are in quarantine. Enjoy, be safe, and We'll be following both of you.
All right. We'll
Thanks
see you
for
at your
having
next fight. We'll see you at your next fight there, Terry. And thanks for dropping in there, Matt.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, see you, gentlemen.
All right, Kinsman, that was awesome, right?
Awesome. Yeah, Terry Lemaire. Follow him on Facebook. Good guy. And again, grab the merch. As when people say, or I remember his last fight there when it was leading up to that Isaiah fight. Get the pay-per-view. You always hear people say, "Oh, I should have done that." Well, you know what? This is how they make their money. So if you see a pay-per-view with Terry Lemaire tied to that pay-per-view, pick it up. You're gonna help a local fighter out who's on a 7-fight winning streak in his professional career, which is pretty darn exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, we're giving away a $20 gift certificate for the McIntyre Coffee Shop. All you need to do is in the comment section, tell us how long you think you would last in a good time chokehold, and we will pick one winner at random, or maybe the most clever. And you'll get the prize tomorrow. So we're quick with this delivery, right, Kinsman?
Yeah, we certainly are. We've got a prize tonight. We're giving away a $50 entertainment pack from Elite Geeks on Thursday, part of our next small business nights.
Okay, a couple quick locals, Mitch, and then Mitch Wilson. The Timmins Rock looking for a new coach. What?
Yeah, wasn't quite the Rock news I was looking for today. Obviously, the NOJHL, now that everything has gone orange or back into orange, I was hoping that we'd maybe hear back to play, but this story coming up that the Rock and their head coach, Corey Beer, he has regretfully announced his resignation and is now moving to a new job in the Okanagan Valley. Okanagan Hockey Academy out in BC. Wants to be closer to his family. With COVID, a little tough, on everybody, including, someone who is away from his family. So Corey Beer has stepped down as the coach of the Timmins Rock. Question is, who's going to coach? Maybe you or I.
That's right.
The remainder of the season.
I do. Well, my Senators did beat your Leafs last night, so I know a little bit about hockey right now.
You know what? Don't rub that in.
All right, fine.
We were up 5-1.
Yeah, you fell apart, Kins. Look, come on, get over it. So a lot of local businesses are reopening. I'm excited. Cinema 6. I miss being in the theater. Popcorn flying everywhere. Big screen, oversized drink. I usually go for the refill. It's opening up when? Friday?
It's opening up on the weekend. It says, this is the post from Imagine Cinema. It says showtimes will be available soon. It says follow them on Facebook. We will reopen with News of the World and Wonder Woman 1984 this Friday. And Tom and Jerry will open on Friday, February the 26th. But they say due to limited capacity and people in the theaters, they say it's best to buy your ticket online because if you show up, you just might not get a ticket to the movie.
All right, then.
But good to see them back, though.
Good to see them back. I will probably be there this weekend.
Certainly.
Lent is around the corner.
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. I grew up Roman Catholic. It was always very important to us. We always made these small sacrifices at Lent. So what's going on? Are you giving up anything for Lent, Kinsman?
Well, that's the whole thing, right? What are you giving up for the next 40 days? My Toronto Maple Leafs, it's funny you said that they lost 6-5, leading 5-1 at time. They were at 5-1 heading into the third, losing 6-5 to your Ottawa Senators. They always do this in and around Lent. They forget how to play hockey for 40 days. Okay. In the NHL. But there was a cool post I wanted to pass along. And before I get to the post, what are you giving up for Lent? Anything that you're going to give up for 40 days?
I don't know, Kinsman. Maybe I'll give up shaving my head and I'll grow whatever little hair I have.
That's it. Well,
no, you know what? Now that we know Goodtime and we know like he's dedicated to workout, maybe I'll start eating right. Like I'll have one of those urban farm protein meals like Goodtime does, and really start showing off this strength here. Eat healthy. I guess that's giving up junk food.
That's what you're going to do in the 40 days. But this cool post I saw on Facebook today, I thought I'd pass it along. 40 bags in 40 days. Anybody see this on Facebook throughout the city? And here's how that works. Instead of giving up sweets for Lent, the post says, try giving up clutter. So go to your, nooks and crannies of your house or your apartment, your crawl space, and each day of Lent, fill a bag of any size with things no longer that you need, and then donate those bags at the end of Lent of that clutter to a local charity of your choice. I thought that was a cool post, and I wanted to bring it on the show here.
I like it. Chris says he thinks he can give up lettuce. Joanne says she's giving up housework.
I've given up on housework years ago.
A couple comments about the theater opening. Movies cannot wait. Chad is inviting us over for a theater experience.
Me too,
cool.
Kinsman. All right, thanks, Chad.
All right. And you want to see a couple guesses about who can last in a chokehold from Goodtime? Brenda Perry says 5 seconds.
Okay.
Nicole says
2.5. I'm with Nicole. 5 seconds from Matthew is Jean.
And seeing stars, so he has the added bonus. Melanie has a good one. Until I pass out. I like that one. And how about this one from Tom and Karen? Luke, 9, I'd run away. That's a Jamie KLOMP answer.
I don't know if could you run away in the octagon? You'd have to do. You probably get disqualified climbing out.
Okay, so something. One last before we bring Mitch on. So something embarrassing happened to me today.
Oh, I hate this.
Okay, listen. I got to tell people this. So I went to pick up the crop. I bought a meal worth $30. Of course, while I'm there, I'm talking with people because I just like to talk. Obviously. So I'm talking about the show and we're have Terry on tonight, Terry and Matt. And I go to pay for the meal and my debit card is declined for $30. And I'm like, I tell the girl, I swear to God, I have $30 in my account. Like I have 70. Okay. I have 70. I can buy 2 of these meals. But here's the problem. I brought the wrong debit card with me, an old one. I'm like, can you try it again? There's a mistake, declined. Can you try it again? Declined. And of course, instead of walking away, the 4th time, Kinsman, she goes, your card's declined, Jamie KLOMP, right in front of the store. So they maybe we'll get some donations because they think KINZ and KLOMP are broke. So then
no one was reaching out going, here, I'll take this one.
Yes. So I went back to my car, hoping to find my other bank card, and come back in with the redemption story. I got the money. I swear to God, tap away. Wasn't in my car. I had to drive all the way back to Porcupine, all the way back to pick up the crop. Time I got there, no one's around again to see my redemption that I can afford a $30 meal, Kinsman. Redeemed.
You should have called me, man. That's what happens when you're stuck in Timmins. You call the Timmins boy.
Would you have lent me $30 for my meal?
I would have driven down and taken care of the debt for you.
Thank you, Kinsman. I'll remember that next time. Maybe I go to for a pizza.
Just gotta ask me how much is in my account before I start bailing you out, right?
We got a very detailed answer here on how long you can last in the chokehold. I believe the time limit is something like 1 minute before the brain starts to die from lack of oxygen. Depends on how you define brain death. Damage begins 1 minute, but I'm already brain dead. That's a good answer, Mitch Wilson, if you're watching in the background for creativity.
There it is.
Oh, look at this. Joanne would have paid for me. She's so nice.
Joanne's awesome. Joanne, I don't know if you saw those pictures, posted them on our KINZ and KLOMP live Facebook page, my personal page. She did the caricatures of KINZ and KLOMP. You wearing that exact toque.
Yes.
She's awesome. With my hair.
She's awesome. Okay. You ready here from our young millennial friend, Mitch Wilson?
That's right.
There he is.
All right. You can hear me just fine. And I got to add to the last one. Mark Kinsman is that type of dude. I remember not 1, but 2 days. Mark Kinsman came when I locked myself out. The good old fashioned smoke breaks at the radio station, forgetting the key cards on the counter. Hey, Mark, it's Saturday. Do you mind popping by the station? I kind of locked myself out.
And I was there.
Questions asked both times within minutes.
I used to know a guy in Thunder Bay, and he revealed to me he never paid for a meal. And this is a terrible story. You know what he did? He did the tip trick. So what he did is you go out for a meal, and this is what he did. So you go out for a meal, and you leave a tip, right? So he would be the last to pay, and he would add up all the tips, and if he figured out that's the price of his meal, he wouldn't pay nothing. So now we all leave the table like a group of 7 or 8, And really, with the waiter or the waitress comes by and just thinks we never left a tip after all that great service.
Oh, that is sneaky to a degree.
Terrible, right?
I prefer my buddy's brother. It's his older brother who would do this move, where he'd be like, "All right, guys, let's go out for breakfast. You finish eating breakfast, stand up. Where? Geez. Oh, the wallet.
I have my card on me. I'll be right back.
It's somewhere. No, not be right back. Just, I don't have the card on me. Who's paying?"
Chris says, I would have paid for it too.
Man, I'm starting to think I have friends there, Kinsman. All right. Mitch Wilson, how long could you last in a good time chokehold?
Oh, does this go into the negative, Jamie?
Yeah. Right.
I'm not
that chokehold tonight. One of these.
Yeah. It's worth $20. Okay, so what do you got for us, Mitch?
If I'm being generous, I'll say I can. Never mind. All right. What I got for us tonight is, first of all, my hero of the month. Mm-hmm. This one is a well-vaunted award. People around the world talk about which Mitchell Wilson's hero of the month is going to be. Okay. Last year, 2020, who took the entire year was a guy who didn't pay for his license plate stickers since 1997.
Oh, nice.
Well, I believe this is over in Connecticut or something, some state in the States. And police pulled him over and asked him about it. And he said, I was busy.
Oh,
since 97 for 23 years.
Pretty cautious driver, though, from 97 and now to not get pulled over until, this year.
My thought is he didn't take it out much because this is cited and sourced. I didn't just hear it from a guy. I heard it from a guy. Like, there's news articles about this because of how bizarre it is. But it is it's interesting to think. You got to think he kept it in a carport for most of the year. If that's the case, Mitch would pass out before the chokehold. Yeah, of course. I said that, Chad. Come on, we know.
Yeah. Maybe Chad's a front winner. You are picking the winner tonight, Mitch. But nonetheless, I love that story. So the guy eventually gets caught, and there's probably a big fine at the end of this story, right?
I think I'm not sure it actually doubles up. I think the first time you get caught, there's a fine for that. I'm sorry I don't have the details. And given he was my hero of last year, I should know this. But throw up my screen right now. We'll talk about my hero of this particular month.
Oh, Mitch. Poor Mitch. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Mitch.
90-year-old man spends $10,000 on 2 ads in Wall Street Journal to tell AT&T CEO about his slow internet service. So a 90-year-old California man took out 2 ads in the Wall Street Journal, which set him back more than $10,000 to let the CEO know about his abysmal internet service. May seem like an extreme measure, but this dude, Aaron Epstein, he's 90 years old. He's been a customer since the 60s. That's 60 years almost at this point, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't have any complaints for about 2 decades, but a couple years ago, he got, I bet his this is the thing. We just did this to my grandparents this year. We got him a smart TV so they could watch Netflix. They'd never done that before, right? Mm-hmm. They'd only used like the Bell Express View type thing, cable in some other households, I'm sure. But, the tried and true. And they're getting to know this thing, and they're loving the Netflix. They're loving the streaming service. So I'm guessing that's what the grandparents did. And he says it was like watching a slideshow because of how slow this was. He was paying for 3.5 megabits per second, only getting 1.5. So he ended up shelling $10,000 or over that for the 2 ads, one in Dallas, where the AT&T headquarters is, the other in Manhattan. And he had hoped that the one in Manhattan would convince people who do the Wall Street stuff to put some pressure on the company to help him, or else he'd keep doing the negative publicity thing. And he says it's money well spent. The ad was titled "Open Letter to Mr. John T. Stanky." Now there's a last name for you, and of course I would never mock anyone for having an odd last name. Of course, Jamie, you and I come from the Dutch heritage.
Right.
My mother's maiden name is Koekoek. Right. You explain that to a bunch of other people who are also 8 years old in the schoolyard, and they got a couple chuckles for that one, right?
Yeah.
Joanne said her mother is 94 and owns a smart TV, is on Facebook.
Well, Joanne, your mother is further ahead than Merck Kinsman.
Yeah.
So.
Did you I'm sure people have heard this before. Like, when my folks first started getting into FaceTime, you would a lot of the conversations would be like this, right? You know that, right? Where do I look? You get a lot of that, but good for them.
Oh yeah, and so Mr. This reminds me also of my I had an old neighbor. I guess a neighbor's boyfriend or whatever, but they were pretty serious together. But he had changed his last name because he didn't like his birth father. But the name he changed it to was Skidmore. And again, no offense to anyone named Skidmore, but like, you know, if you're changing your last name, you could do anything you want. I go back to the old Homer Simpson, Max Power, like that's his full name, right? And
my mother-in-law paid for internet with Eastlink for 8 years and never used it. Now they want to charge her $400 for their Wi-Fi box. Ooh, that doesn't.
It's almost like the library book, but in technology.
Well, there's also the old move. My parents dealt with this for years with the rural internet, and anyone who's outside the fiber op range definitely understands that. Just like our fella here, Epstein, that was having a hard time with his internet. It's like you call them up and they're like, oh, yeah, we can increase the speed for you, as if they hadn't had your account for 7 years and you never complained. It's almost as if complaining to the company gets you what they should have been giving you in the first place.
I love this on Mitch's first story. So my husband drove around for 3 years. So, you know, it is a self-admission night. So, you know, I admitted I was too broke. I got declined for a $30 meal. Chris is admitting, you know, her husband drove around for 3 years, I guess with the license sticker violation. Do Mitch and Mark want to make any admissions tonight to release the poll? And he confessed.
No, you've taken the cake tonight. We're going to run with your story there.
I leave when I have leftovers. I leave the fork on the plate and cover the whole plate, and then use the fork the next night.
Oh, Mitch, you took the easy way out. Don't make me play the lane.
I got worse ones, but the public don't need to know. That's between me and God. All right, Wilson, what else you got?
Okay,
so yeah, basically the fastest available in his spot now, 3 megabits per second. His competitors, he says, has speeds over 200 megabits per second in his area, which almost makes you think that it would have been easier to just switch internet companies than take $10,000 worth of ads out in newspapers. But I guess this guy is really a man of the people, and so I respect. This is why he's a hero. He could have just switched over to a competitor. He did not. He decided to go after the system, make a loud noise so that they would fix it for his entire neighborhood. Isn't that the neighbor that you want in your neck of the woods?
That is the neighbor that I want. Check out this guy. Jamie KLOMP versus Terry Lemaire. What did I start up here tonight, Kinsman? All right, so I tell you what, like if this is going to happen, I don't need nice neighbors, Mitch. You know what I really need?
What do you need?
If I'm getting in the ring with Terry Lemaire, first of all, I'm going to need Kinsman as my bodyguard. I'll need Mitch as my
I'll be your trainer.
Yes. You'll be my trainer? Yeah. I was thinking more of a bodyguard and Mitch to be my mouthpiece to talk me out of any situations. But
hey, if anything for charity,
all right, Klumper, he's going to come at you. He's going to come at you hard. So what you got to do is you got to get the heck away from here. Run 3 blocks over. There's a Wendy's. You duck in there. Go to the girls' washroom, and I will meet you there in 15 minutes to pick you up and take you out of the state. How do you? What do you think?
It's not going to help my street cred there, Wilson.
Well, at least, okay, the alternative is getting your butt kicked. So, take your choice.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's give away this.
All right. Yes, we have something to give away. Yes, we do. Mitch has been watching the comments too, right? Have you found anything that's super impressive?
Okay. I like the comment about someone actually being disgusted about my fork thing. You as dudes were both like, "Oh yeah, don't like that's normal." Joanne, on the other hand, said, "Ew, Mitch," and almost definitely had to do with my fork and the leftovers.
Right, but we're talking here now specifically about.
I remember, and what was the first name of the fella who said he'd be seeing stars? Because I liked that one. Was it Mark or Matthew Jean?
Okay, I got to go way back.
I know. I'm doing the same in the comment section. Matthew Jean, I believe. Yep, Matthew Jean with the single T.
Matthew, do you have a timestamp on that?
Well, I remember the name, not the I'm so sorry.
Well, I will find Matthew.
We'll reach out for a Matthew Jean.
He's there. He's there. You recognize it. 5 seconds. That's it. That's the one. Thank you, Jamie.
All right. So Matthew Jean wins a $20 gift certificate from the McIntyre Coffee Shop. Thank you very much, Matthew. A million great comments. We will reach out to you after the show, Matthew, and by the latest tomorrow morning to let you know how you can pick that up. So you got one more for us, Mitch, before we say goodbye? I see you have something loaded up there.
Well, we might as well do it if we're going to do it. So this is my top Zoom fails of the year, and I believe my audio is going to be on. So we start off with, okay, so bit of premise, of course. Actually, you guys barely need none. You get it. Zoom's been on the thing for 11 months now. Everyone's been doing it. So naturally, people ended up in some sticky situations. We'll call it PG-13, though there's nothing actually explicit in here.
Okay.
Subject matter is implied given the fact that people were caught not wanting to be doing it. Home Office with a Bang is the title of this one. It's not what you think.
El área socioemocional de los niños.
I like that one.
All right. And now we got to keep going along because this is the best technology that I can find. With,
do you have another one?
Yeah, of course. We're going for the top. It was 5, but then one topped it this week that I had to add to it. This one, yeah, yikes. So we'll skip ahead. This was a real trial. So the judge is on here right now. But where is this? In Peru, I think this is. This is in Peru. And you see in the bottom right corner, this is during an actual trial. There is a judge here. Mm-hmm. And the lawyer stripping off with a lady. Turns out that's his client. That's actually his client, which I believe violates a number of laws. So that man will be
right. Yeah. Red flags.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's disbarment right there.
Okay. What other one?
Disbarment, like me trying to do pull-ups. Shout out to Terry and the workout boys before. Yeah. All right, so that's enough of that one.
All right,
you get the idea. But we're doing the top ones. So next up, we got this one. Make sure I get the audio on there. Throw us up. This one comes from our own town of Canada. Town of Canada, whatever.
Thank you, Dr. Tom Bateman.
Country.
The transcript.
Oh, hi there. I'm worried that here.
Hang on one sec, folks.
That is not me.
Everybody, please mute your microphones.
Oh, yes.
Now, do you believe that was or was not that dude? He says the journalist who was answering the question over the Zoom says that is not me. But it almost kind of sounded like it was.
You're of course going to backpedal.
Right. But
you don't want people knowing that you were taking a leak during a press conference.
It could have easily been person C, though, not even in the conversation, who just forgot to mute their mics. But I mean, I think at this point in time across the COVID, every single person has had themselves a someone using the washroom. Right. Just hopefully without the video on is what we'll have to say. But they get more fun from here. So for this one's great. You might have to watch this twice in case you miss it because I don't have the best resolution.
Given up here up top, the 38 units at the LIFO was 3. Can we please not? That'd be great. Miles, please don't.
What is he doing? I can't really see.
Oh, do you see now?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Right.
I think that's a high school class, maybe a university class. Dude's hitting the bong.
On your Zoom class?
No. Dude, you may not have seen it. You might have to zoom in later, Mark, but dude's got it's a pink bong too, and he's just ripping a bowl in the middle of a class. Teacher asking if he could please not. You gotta love it. Kids don't do that. All right.
What's your best one, Mitch?
Oh, no, hang on. We got 2 more. They're important because this one is you may have seen this one, but this is wholesome as heck.
Most of us are here, so if you want to pull out your Journeys book.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that? I think you farted.
Kid faces are awesome.
Was that you? That was a big one.
That was a big one. And if anyone read the description, you'll see the teacher actually did this on purpose to create such calamity in the virtual classroom.
It was huge.
And look, that's right. They accuse her of it.
That's awesome.
All right, and last one, because that was my top 5. But something popped up this past week, and it cannot be ignored. Sharing the audio, and we'll do this last one.
Cat not being ignored.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
This is how they do official court trials now, by the way.
Yeah.
That's all the context you need.
You might want to
we're trying to can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Yeah.
Turn off your Snapchat filters.
Well, it's a Zoom filter.
Click the up.
I'm ready to proceed. I'm not a cat. I'm sorry, Judge.
Right.
And those are my my honorary mention for the top 5 Zoom moments of the year.
That cat one's probably I've watched that about 20 times. I love that. I love when he says I'm not a cat. That is classic.
Yes, thanks for that crucial piece of information.
All right.
I thought for a moment we had a shaggy dog situation on our hands.
What's Jeremy saying? Terry Lemaire, for you, it's kind of more humbling for me to admit once you get a hold of me, I have essentially 20 seconds till I'm dead. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Terry, Matt, Mr. Mitch Wilson, even you, Kinsman.
Yes.
Another classic laydown of a show. So when are we back here?
Jamie, of course. I forgot that.
Let's go Sens. And I have our sponsors t-shirt on tonight.
You do.
Oh, that's right. Can we see it?
You want to see it again?
Yeah, I want to see it again. Yeah.
Richard Wilson from Wilson's Auto Detailing.
You know, I just want the team to get paid, but also them to get business.
He's awesome, Richard Wilson. So what do we say about Richard Wilson before we go, Kinsman?
He's an awesome guy. If you're in for Nano Ceramic Protect in Timmins, you can find them on Facebook at Nano Ceramic Protect Timmins. And you can also find him at his shop there on Wilson Avenue, 36 Wilson Avenue. And again, Richard Wilson, Wilson's Elite Auto Detailing, sponsoring tonight's big show with Terry Goodtime, Lemaire, and we had Matthew Poulin, his trainer, on the show. What a great show. And, of course, Matthew Jean winning a $20 gift certificate to the McIntyre Coffee Shop. So Matthew will reach out and make you a big winner. And we've got
best poutine in town, according to Alain Cavillon.
And they've got the best fish and chips too. If you didn't know, they actually use beer battered fish and chips, and the beer is battered from Full Beer Brewing, Jonathan St. Pierre. So there you go.
Awesome. All right, guys. See you Thursday.
We'll see you Thursday for another small business night here in the city, a part of KINZ and KLOMP Live. We'll see you then.